Am I the asshole? For being upset I'm not higher than my husband's mom on his priority list? Today I watched a video asking men who comes first in your priorities? Daughter, wife, mom. So I asked my husband, what is it for you? And he said daughter, mom, wife. It was quick too, he didn't even have to think about it. I was visibly shocked. He asked me what was wrong and I told him I just didn't expect to be last, and he said, you expected to be before my mum? I obviously replied, I mean yeah. I expected to be higher priority than your mom, and his response was, she's my mom in terms of the ranking. I'm glad our daughter is his first priority. I just didn't expect for me to be last. My thought process is, he chose me to build a family and life with. I tore up my body physically and mentally to bring his child into this world. My husband has and always will be my highest priority after our daughter. It made me feel really shitty that I'm not a higher priority than his mom. He says I'm an for being so upset, but I feel I have every right to be. Am I the Edit: I have moved on and am no longer upset. It wasn't a thought-out question. I was literally watching the video and he was sitting right next to me when I asked. I was simply just shocked by his response. BC, he chose me to be his wife. I just didn't think I'd be last on the list, but I can understand his thought process as well. My feelings were hurt, but it's seriously such a little thing compared to our lives and how good of a father and husband he is. Edit: his mother has loved me from the jump and has never been weird to me. His mom was genuinely mortified by my husband's response and told him about himself, even though I told her not to be. See, it's such a small thing. I called her to tell her lol. Edit: I do still believe I am not the here. Yes, it was a silly question to ask, but I didn't even think about it. I had a right to be hurt. I didn't and don't have a right to hold it against him too. I am over it. Not the asshole, that's what getting married is supposed to mean. You leave your parents' home and cleave to your new spouse. Your new primary allegiance is to your spouse, and to the family you create together. WTF, this comment section is wild. Personally I'm on team not the asshole, because your life partner should probably value you pretty highly. Like, no one chose their parent but your partner chose you and vice versa. I can understand why you'd be annoyed that their knee-jerk reaction was to value you below mom. Not the asshole. I'm sorry. I think it's amazing that you say you will get past this, because I don't think I could. To know that the person who you have created your own family with does not prioritize you over his mother is so hurtful. Your immediate family is your priority. Full stop. Not the asshole. Ask him who he wants to share his bed with, his mother, or you. Ask him if he really meant his wedding vows. Even the Bible says that you leave your parents and join with your spouse when you wed. You're the asshole. I was watching a video. The fact you are 22 is showing here. Stop watching TikTok. This kind of content is created purely to create argument, the most toxic kind of media. Lol, these comments. A lot of unmarried children in here. My 12-year-old son would also not understand this question. Not the asshole, and a spouse should always come before a parent. Not the asshole. 50 years ago my dad asked, if it came to it, did he choose to save my mom or me when she was in labor? My dad said her. Thankfully we both survived, but my mom couldn't have any more kids. When his parents once suggested divorcing my mom, so my dad could remarry to have more kids, he told her any more suggestions like that, while he respected them, would get them disowned. He told them wife, child, parents. 50 years later he still puts wife first, daughter second, grandkids third. Nah. It's a ridiculous question. What is a priority list? It means different things to different people. And priorities shift. Now your daughter is your number one, but when she's 40 with her own family she won't be. My mum is currently my priority because she's sick. If my partner got sick, then they'd both be priorities for the duration. It's all stupid. Not the asshole, the family you create should be priority. I'm sorry you had to hear that from the man you love. I think this probably requires further discussion about what creating a family means to you and what it means to him. You're the asshole. Don't ask questions you aren't ready to hear the answers for. Clearly you lack a little humility and maturity upon hearing the answer by your reaction. You're the asshole specifically because you asked. Don't ask questions you're not prepared to hear the answer to, and then get mad that it's not what you expected. Slight, you're the asshole. Although I understand that you should be his priority because you're the woman who's going to spend the rest of his life with, I still think you're the asshole because you're asking questions that you expect to be responded in a certain way. It's a catch-22. Don't ask questions if you're not going to like the answer. That is just a really bad, unnecessary question. You're the asshole for asking it, in my opinion. ESH. The correct ranking of people close to you should, in an ideal world, be whoever raised you, your partner, your children, your friends. You sound insecure AF. I tore up my body physically and mentally to bring his child into this world. A little dramatic, no? Did you not want to have a kid? Would your kid feel bad if they thought that you only had them to please your husband and you're now the lesser for it? These questions are gross, demeaning, and entirely unnecessary. What does this ranking even mean? Who does he love more? Who he'd save first in a fire? Who he thinks society tells him he should care about most? Who takes priority over the other in a conflict? Every single one of these has like 100 caveats and context-dependent variables, and we gain nothing by ranking people, except for flattering some, hurting others, and ego boosts for thinking we're good people in our choices. You shouldn't have asked it, he shouldn't have answered. You're the asshole. What purpose does it serve to ask this question? In your actual life, do you ever feel your husband neglects you and prioritizes his mother's needs over yours? Until this moment, the thought probably never even occurred to you. Don't manufacture things to get upset about based on something you saw on SM. You're the asshole. Ask silly questions, get silly answers. He chose you, for all your tore up your bod to give him a baby. His mum did that to give him life and double down a lifetime caring for him. You're new. Romantic love versus unconditional love. There's a whacking great difference. Not the asshole. You should come before his mother. Utter for the dumb question. When your daughter gets married, do you expect that she will prioritize her husband over you? People actually fight about this stuff. Come on. You're the asshole and you shouldn't be married if you are so insecure. I tore up my body to bring his kid into the world. And his mum did the same to bring him into the world. Without her, you wouldn't have your kid either. Stupid TikTok trends. Why do people like to compete for rank in someone's life? Why do people have to compare who loves who more, who matters more? You're all family, just love each other and enjoy the time you have together. FFS. Not the asshole. I would even argue you should be top priority over your daughter. Your spouse is your partner in life. The love of a child or a parent is biological, but the love of a spouse is a choice. It requires special attention. Asked my husband the same and he right away told me daughter, wife, mum. Any other answer and my marriage wouldn't be good emo. Not the asshole. We don't know the intricacies of your relationship and marriage dynamics, so who knows, but this is an uber gross thing to say. Even in jest. Hopefully the boy grows up at some point. Not the asshole. I would be very hurt if my husband said that as well. I get where you're coming from, yes, she is his person, but you are his wife. Your household should always be priority one, meaning kids and wife first. Not the asshole. People's priorities are FD. I don't even get it anymore.